Okay, a little end of the year 2023 roundup. I think my theories regarding watering these, um, pretty much, I think I've experienced almost everything. Fungus gnat, uh, overwatering, mildew, um, shot from the humidity chamber to not being in the humidity chamber, where some of these, like these ones, possibly would benefit due to keeping that level dry around the higher end. Probably a little humidity cover. This one back there, I think I actually got to the point where I did let it dry out too much. These ones in the back, I think were a little too moist. The mildew ones, at least. Actually, the ones in the back there in particular, those probably did dry out. I think they also had shock from um, not being covered when they did start to dry out. When you start seeing them dry out, cover them up with a plastic container, maybe put a hole or two in them to create like another little humidity chamber, and check your soil too, and water. Um, this one, I think I did the same thing there. Probably did eventually let it get too dry because I was erring on the some at that time. I thought or the soil was probably too moist. Not just thought, the soil was too moist, but they did eventually dry out. So the figs are an interesting challenge. They're definitely not like the willows. Now with the Hascaps, I finally got all the indigo gems to start, though these like a lot more water. I had that little uh, wedge underneath to keep them at angles. I figured, well, I'll see how the ones look like that are drier. Well, the ones that were a little drier actually started drying out, so didn't do as good. So all of the indigo gem have started now. The indigo treat, there's still the one, hasn't started yet, um, but those are moving forward. So I don't think I've lost those yet, but they are starting to dry out. So a day or two. Down below here, I think this here is one where, well, I didn't mention above the soil quality. Use fresh soil. This is unknown used soil that I'm finding with the tomatoes. I'm having variation as well. So issues, again, those are probably drying out too much. Um, yeah, I think the humidity down here is really low. It's like 37, 38. So my temperature's not the warmest. It just happens to be. It gets down to 64. Yeah. So, but the one back there I thought was gonna make it. Well, it's really sprouting up now. Got one back there. Probably didn't dry out too much, but it should make it. I think they'll do okay. But yeah, use soil. It's risky. So, but one of the interesting ones though, where I'm guessing was so dry, but probably had an infection, maybe even a virus. I wonder. This one that was touching the one up top that dried out was actually originally in this location over here. It's just so odd. How'd that whole stem dry out? Literally, that whole side of the plant dried out, but the one side didn't. So I don't know if something got in the bark Cambrian layer and exterior. I don't know. I wound up putting dusting cinnamon over everything. I didn't dust down here as much, and diatomaceous earth. So I don't know if that helped as well. But I think they're all pretty much planted. The gnats aren't really that big of a deal. I mean, there's a few of them. I usually see two or three around at a time. I kill them. And, I literally just killed one right now. I noticed one flying around. But yeah, it's an issue too. So hygiene, get a little more hygienic spots. Finally, well, I guess overview: overwatering, underwatering, humidity shock, temperature. I don't think I'm dealing with the issue as much. Fungal gnats, soil, use new soil. Don't use used soil. Yeah, so you get a lot more variation with the used soil. You don't know, is it used by somebody who is flowering? You know, so it's high phosphorus. Not rinsed. Who knows what else could be in it? I have no idea. In regards to especially the mixes of a bunch of different soils, keep it sterile or cleaner. Pro mix. Um, Pro mix. Pro mix looks about the better of them. Where this other one's not the pro mix. That's unknown soil, and it kind of looks like it's starting to stunt now. So probably drying out. I just watered it. It probably is getting a little dry. This one actually already needed watering once. This is the second time I've watered it. Um, yeah. So those issues. And the final one's the lighting. Uh, these are on 24 hours, which I'm used to with growing tomatoes and other, house plants, garden plants, vegetables. But with the figs, I'm not so sure. I mean, the willow seems to love the 24 hours, but I don't know. The figs might benefit from having a 12-12, something that'll give it a stockier, more flowering, more root growth type situation, especially being indoors where, you want to develop those roots out before you get them outside. So that's my thoughts. Boy, long-winded, rambling, using on. Um, these Chicago Hardy Fit went dormant. I think they're doing okay. Um, the ones in the garage, I moved these other ones out to the garage. They, the one's doing good, not infected. The others, I don't know. They do got a little bit, not as bad as this one, but I don't know. I wonder if they're infected with like aspergillus or something else. I don't know. I don't see it, but if I cut the stem, uh, maybe I'd see something in the cambium layer in the bark. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, be safe, stay healthy. Have a happy new year and best wishes. Kind regards in Christ.